remember this? Remember that I was working on this little project? Well, I ran a poll on Twitter at the end of January asking if I should release this stage with or without the Chaos Control spline. The majority vote, it was a close vote, the majority vote said to wait. I've waited till the end of February, the stage has been done the entire month. I don't want to sit anymore, so I'm releasing this. The links are down in the description below. There should be a set of instructions how to install them there as well. So I'm going to do a dev commentary on the release video because, I think to my knowledge, unless someone else has beat me to the punch, this is the first released Shadow the Hedgehog stage mod. So let's stop waffling on and actually play the thing. Playing Greenflower from Sonic Royal Blast 2. When it loads. There you go, Dolphin. So yeah, something I've been noticing when I was setting the release up is this first chunk runs really bad. It seems to run worse on Dolphin than it does on an Xbox, and yes, I'm going to be showing this on both Dolphin through the GameCube and an original Xbox through a composite capture, so yeah. So yeah, this is kind of what came from the old Woods of Light concept. I did the videos for those a while ago for Heroes, but that stage just wouldn't have worked too well in Heroes. But I used what I had slightly figured out from those, and a bit of help from some other people, to make this. Because I've always had more of an interest in Shadow modding. I don't know why, probably because Shadow's one of those games that's quite nostalgic for me. So right off the bat, this, let me just get rid of this guy. This darkening here on Shadow was a pain in the ass to do. Because to my knowledge, the way the volumes for these work is it's not width, length and height. It's distance from the center in one direction, which then gets times into another. So like, you have three values, three floats on the object that controls this darkness. And one of the values is how far in this direction it is. That same value also controls how far in this direction, and then vice versa for left, right, up and down. And it took a while to figure that one out. So yeah, for the most part, this is an attempt to recreate the level layout from SRB2 as close as possible. Which is one of the few times I've done this. And the annoying thing is I had to eyeball each and every object placement. So yeah, these flowers, these are all Westopolis props with custom models and no collision. And most of the models come from Sonic Colossal. In fact, I think all of them do, in some way, shape or form. So yeah, the stage, it's more a proof of concept than anything, like, truly in-depth, but it's fully playable. The only issues is the mission system doesn't work because, one, there's no way to trigger it, and even if you could trigger it, there's no black alien, so the hero mission doesn't work. Also, yeah, this is lagging horribly. And there's not enough gun soldiers to do the dark missions. Only the neutral mission works, because from what I understand, there is a chance that the missions are hard-coded, so first they can't be changed without editing the EXE of the game, which is a problem. And if I just build up the hero gauge, like I've mentioned that the whole reason I hadn't released this initially was because of the Chaos Control spline, or the lack thereof. And, well, what that means is, when you use Chaos Control, Shadow follows along a predetermined path, and I've actually got the Dark Edge. So yeah, Shadow follows a predetermined path when using Chaos Control, which is done through a spline. The problem is, those splines, the Shadow spline edit that's available in a Hero's Power Plant can't actually save them. So as a result, once you actually use Chaos Control, you snap to the Westopolis spline. And if I can actually build the hero gauge rather than it refusing to fill because of the dark gauge being full, well, I'll show you why this doesn't work. So yes, when we get Chaos Control, we teleport into the void, and the game lags horribly. To be fair, that might be because of Dolphin. I do have Dolphin set a bit higher than I should. But yeah, you follow the Chaos Control spline for Westopolis, and then fall into the void. So yeah. I was wanting to wait to release this until the spline for that was available, but again, I've been waiting for a month, and I didn't want to just sit on the thing. Yeah, this is another issue. Checkpoints. There's 5 on this list, but only 2 of them in the actual stage. That menu does not work if there's any less than 5 checkpoints, and I think there's an upper limit of like 8 or something. I'd have to confirm that with like some of the modders who've tried it. So, underneath this checkpoint, there are 3 more checkpoints hidden in the void. just to make this menu work. But this warping does work. You can warp to and from the 2 checkpoints, which is good.
We have engaged the spare me.
So yeah, the shadows, as in like on the terrain, these are just vertex colours. Like, that's... Because unlike Forces, obviously Shadow the Hedgehog does not have real-time shadows, it's from freaking 2004, 2005. So yeah, these are all faked. The water animation, which isn't working... Oh, it is working, huh. Yeah, that was not done by me. Radford Hound cracked the format for that after I gave them the files to do it. So massive thanks to Rad for that. And massive thanks to everyone in the Heroes and Shadow Hacking Discord. They put up with a lot of questions that I was throwing their way. Because it's the same thing with Forces, where a lot of the things that I've done have been figured out by other people, and then just I've to use that information.
Men, forgive me.
But yeah, so that's the stage running on the GameCube version. But when I was initially doing these test imports, I didn't start with the GameCube version.
Once I find all of the emeralds, then I'll find the
I started with the only version of Shadow the Hedgehog that I currently own physically myself. And well, let's have a look at that, shall we? Let's switch over to that. Let's have a drop in video quality. Let's go to the Xbox. So yeah, welcome to the Xbox version of Shadow the Hedgehog. So enjoy the composite video quality, but it does work. This does work here as well. And it's pretty much an exact copy. A lot of the files I could actually transfer, like the object layout, the file formats between the 2 versions are identical, so I can copy them over. The terrain did need to be re-imported in Heroes Power Plant, but other than that it did work fine. Again, this is missing the spline as well. The lighting stuff, that all works. So yeah, it's an identical copy of the stage. The animations, everything is the same. I was planning to support the PS2 version as well, but I took one look at that and was just, no. Everything in the PS2 version is contained inside one big archive. Think of the CPK formats that the modern games have used. Except these seem like a PS2 proprietary format, and I would have had to repack the entire format or give an instruction on how to do it. And no. I'm just going to support the GameCube and the Xbox version. The PS2 version of Shadow is the worst of the 3, so... And most people will have access to the GameCube version in some way. So yeah, I forgot to mention these bushes. These little models, like... Hang on. There's a guy shooting with a rocket launcher. Where is he? I should know this. I built this fucking stage. Where is he? Where is the guy sitting with a rocket launcher? Oh, actually, I do know. It's on the other side of this wall. Oops. Okay. But yeah, the... like little apple things here. These are actually from Sonic and the Black Knight, with their polygon count massively reduced. It was a good way to mimic the cherry bush that FRV2 had. Oops. So yeah, again, this is more of a proof of concept learning experience, you could probably say. Like, it's not the most in-depth stage, it's missing some things to truly classify it as a fully working Shadow stage. Again, the lack of a mission setup, and the Chaos Control spline. Also, you probably noticed the gun soldiers are shouting all their Westopolis lines, and if Shadow stands idle for a while, I might actually toss this gun away. Yeah, if I stand idle for a while...
Just what kind of promise did I make with him?
Yeah, he says all of his Westopolis lines as well. There's also a few layering issues, as you can see here. You can see the little strip of grass there. It's probably more clear on the GameCube version, but you can see it. Because there's only 2 chunk splits on this, and it's in that tunnel, which is over there somewhere. Ideally, I would have split the stage into more chunks, but I really could not be bothered figuring out where to split it.
The building's coming down. Stay back.
Also, I think every gun soldier talks, which I don't think they do in actual Westopolis. I didn't quite figure out how that worked. But yeah, the stage is playable, and for what I think is the first released Shadow the Hedgehog mod, as in stage mod, not just like a texture swap or something, I'm okay with it. I'm proud of it. There's definitely things that could be improved, no doubt about that. Until when Shadow Spline Editor gets its ability to export splines, I probably will update this with the Chaos Control spline at least. But yeah, it's a gateway for Shadow the Hedgehog, so let's do a Chaos Blast in the hell of it. But yeah, So the links for the Game Banana page for this should be in the description down below. I'll write up how to install this. Also,
Once I find
the
all of
2-player Shadow the
emeralds,
Hedgehog
then
mod
I'll
on the
find
GameCube
truth.
version, if you modify one of the files in this mod, it does actually work with that. I have an old picture on Twitter, which I'll probably also link somewhere, that shows that working. Did I put it on Twitter? I can't remember. But it does work. I can prove that myself. So if you want to play this in the Shadow the Hedgehog 2-player mod, go for it, I guess. It's kind of pointless, but you can do it. Anyway, enough waffling on. Give the mod a try if you want to. The instructions and download link are in the Game Banana link below. Have fun.